Good day, guys. Welcome back to another episode. Today we got something a little bit different that we're doing on the channel, but very, very cool. I'm excited to see it. It is not mine, but I've been graced with the pleasure from my buddy to be able to do a filming and a video of this to show it to you. So hopefully you guys enjoy, and it's something really, really cool. So here we have the Sur-Ron Litebee 2020.5 Black Edition. This is an e-bike, electric. Some of you guys watching this video are already going to know that. That's why you clicked on it. For my subscribers that are already subscribed to the channel, you're not going to know that. But that is what's in the box here. We're going to do an unboxing, show everything that's in the box. We will also have an install video depending on how long the videos are. I might break it up into two for basically an assembly video and an unboxing video. But we're going to get this thing opened up and check this out. So on the stem, you're going to have the keys are going to be on the bike. That is something on the 2020.5s. They are no longer in the accessory box. Also, one thing to note is on the back side, we do have this piece of cardboard. So these are the decals for the bike itself. Definitely set those aside. Don't scrap those with the rest of your cardboard. It does come with a cardboard stand. Be a little bit careful taking that apart, but that'll help setting the bike up to assemble it. So we went ahead and cut the keys off of the stem. On the 2020.5s, as you can see, the battery comes disconnected. You're gonna go ahead and take the keys and put them in. We are going to get the battery out of this thing, start charging it. So once this is assembled, then we can go ahead and take it for a test ride. But basically, you just turn the key to unlock it. This cover is going to flip up. It has a latch right there, and the battery, as you saw, will pull straight out. So on the front right-hand side, the longer skinnier box, this is going to be your charger. Go ahead and get it out, and we'll do the steps of how to properly charge the battery to get it charging before the assembly of it, because you're going to want your battery charged up so you can ride this once you have it assembled. So coming over here with the charger, on the side of it, you do have step-by-steps of, actually this isn't the side that has it, but it does have instructions. We got it turned around, so the instructions are on this side of the charger. So one thing you're going to do, this is the plug-in that is going to plug into the side of the battery, and you do have a readout on top. As you can see right there, we have 72% charge. That is how it came. So that is really awesome, but we're going to go ahead and plug this thing in and get it charging. Another thing to note is you can see here, it's flashing red and green. When it's red, it's charging, green is full. So as you can see now, it is blinking red, it is charging. And the cooling fan on top is also on, knowing that you have power. And the little display on the battery did illuminate as well. So we just busted out the vacuum. We had a silica package bust open. We don't want animals getting into it. But I wanted to show the handlebars, the headlight, and the throttle control. This is how they are. This is how it comes. But it is all wrapped up. We just wanted to get it unwrapped to show what it looks like here. So coming in the handlebars, we're just tightening these down to hold it right now. You can torque them. That is a 4mm Allen that is needed, but you can see on the handlebars there is adjustments to set it to the desired position that you want it at, and to center the bars up, as you can see right there. Another important thing to know is when installing the handlebars, it is best not to do the headlight first because it is definitely going to be in the way. So the headlight assembly will come after you have the handlebars mounted like they are right now. So as you can see there, we are just positioning the cables in a nice position so they're not sticking out looking horrible. It does look a bit longer, but the forks are compressed right now, so once you get the strap off, it is going to stretch those cables back down, making it look a lot cleaner and nicer. One thing to note on the handlebars is there is an arrow showing which way is up. So as you can see, the little arrows right there on each side showing that being up. You want to make sure you have those in the up position. One really nice thing is the mounting screws for the headlight is a 4mm as well, same as the handlebars, so it makes it really nice that you don't have to have a bunch of random tools for odds and ends.
Oh baby, Shaka on the beat. Shaka on the beat. Shaka on the beat.
So as the headlight is still getting tightened up and assembled, it's pretty much finished up now. So you can see the headlight and the handlebars. One really cool thing on this, you don't ever really know what shocks are gonna come on this. The RST Killas, or you're gonna get the DNM Volcanoes. He was super stoked to see that it had these Volcanoes because they are more of a dirt bike inverted front shock compared to the RSTs that are more of a mountain bike shock style. They're not inverted, you're gonna see the shock up top. Another really cool thing, and like as I mentioned, he is very stoked seeing this, but it did come with the DNM rear shock as well. It has a remote reservoir and is adjustable. So this thing definitely has some really nice suspension on it, and how can you not be happy when it shows up with what you're hoping? But you cannot order it with this package, you just kind of have to hope it shows up with it. So right there, we're just using the 4mm to tighten up the front brake. I was calling it the rear brake because I'm used to mountain bikes. This is a mountain bike is what it really reminds me, but it is a cross between a mountain bike and a motorcycle, which is really awesome. So that is the front brake on the right side. Compared to a mountain bike, which that'd be the rear brake, keeps throwing me off, but someone that is a dirt bike rider knows the controls of a dirt bike is gonna feel just at home on this. So right here's a hardware box. We're gonna open it up to get to more of the parts that we need for assembly of it. See what's all in here, check it out, if there's anything new or exciting that they're adding.
Alright, so we have, not sure what that is, maybe a decal. You have a user manual. This looks like an installation manual in here. This is fork owner's manual specific to the DNMs. There's some extra pieces there. I think that's the hardware to mount the fender. We do have a front number plate. This is the other foot peg in here. Be the right side foot peg. And then the wiring harness and some zip ties. And it does come with a toolkit.
That's awesome.
With looks like a 4mm, 8, and a 5, which the 4 and the 8 is what we've been using so far, and then a 12-14 inch. So that way if you don't have tools, you can use this.
Really cool. So in the hardware box as well was this piece that we weren't real for sure what it is. It is a foam, as you can see. That is gonna go in the bottom of the battery holder, kind of where I'm putting it right now. So it's gonna go back down there and provide cushion for the battery for when you're off-roading, jumping, doing anything like that, to keep the vibration minimal to the battery without causing any internal damage. So on the front fork, you're going to use an 8mm to pull the cap off. The cap was loose. One thing to note, it is right-hand threads. Previous models were left-hand threads, so this one is a right-hand thread. Getting the axle out was a little bit challenging in that wood block. It wasn't anything hard. What ended up working really good was just getting a socket that fit inside, which was a 13mm, to drive that axle out. Once we got that, we were able to lift the Ceron up and set it on the included cardboard stand. As you saw, we pulled the strap off of the front shock. We still have the back compressed, and we are going to go ahead and start getting the front wheel on and keep assembling. So in the hardware box were these parts right here. We were trying to figure it out, and we've got it figured out, which is really, really cool that they include these. So they can be a replacement part if needed. This piece here is going to hold on your brake caliper on the bottom of your front fork. And then this round piece is just going to go up around your shock tube to hold your cable in there. But what you can also do with both of these pieces is you can set it up for a dual front rotor. So you're just going to take that bracket. It has the mounting on the other side for it. And then, of course, you have on your other fork, you can go ahead and put the other cable retainer on there to run your cable through, and then you can have a dual front rotor set up for your brakes, improving braking tremendously. So that is really, really cool that they include those parts to do something like that. So if you're not liking the braking a whole lot, that is something you can do. You can upgrade the braking.
All right, one other thing we want to make sure we do too before we put this wheel and mount it on there is we want to go ahead and wipe this brake rotor down with a nice soft rag and get any of that residual oil that's on there to protect it from rusting during shipping. Also, the hub spacers do come attached to the wheel, as you can see here, zip tied on so that they don't get loose in shipping. We have heard of some people where they've fallen off in there in the bottom of the box. This package did come zip tied on.
So this is the front spacer. It does have an O-ring to help hold it in when you have it into the hub. This neck part here is going to go to the outside on both sides, but it's just going to press fit in there with that O-ring helping as a retainer. Coming around to the front, looking at the brake caliper, there is a yellow shim that is in there that is going to be removed to allow the rotor to slide up into that caliper. Very easy to remove, so that is the shim right there. Once you have that removed, you are now ready to go ahead and put the front wheel on. So installing the front wheel, it's nice to have two people, one to hold the wheel. We did have to compress the left shock up a little bit, but you want to go ahead and take that 8mm, tighten up the cap before you tighten up the pinch bolts. You have 2 pinch bolts on each side for your axle. Once you get the cap tightened, go ahead and tighten those pinch bolts up. So on the pinch bolts, we just hand tighten them. We'll come back and check them. We're just basically getting everything rough assembled right now. So the left peg is already assembled, but the right peg is not. You're going to need a 14mm socket and ratchet.
Does have 2 pins to align it properly. We're going to go ahead and put it in the center one to match with that side. The square block wants to go out a diamond shape so that the peg sits nice and flat.
So the next thing in the bottom of the battery compartment, we're just wiping the plastic down to install the foam padding for the battery. You just peel the white backing off to get to the adhesive. And it'll just sit down the bottom of that battery holder. It's nice and soft, so it will definitely help the battery out. Keep it from any internal damage like I mentioned before. Very easy to install that. You do want to make sure you get that out of your accessory box and get that put into the bottom. So for the front fender, in the hardware box, you are going to have 3 of these washers. They do have a collar on them, as you can see there. That collar is going to go through the fender. And then you will install the 3 bolts. They are also a 4mm Allen. We are using the provided Allen wrench. It is a 5mm, it is not a 4mm. Really nice though, they do include a ball and Allen wrenches. So it's nice to see they're including some nice tools. So for the front number plate, there's 4 zip ties that are included. Basically, you're just going to kind of thread them through, as you can see right here. And those will go around the front forks. Once you have the zip ties tightened up, you're just going to come in with a pair of dikes and just cut the tab ends off. So we're going to go ahead and clean off the rear rotor before we drop the rear suspension, letting that green strap off, just because it'll allow you to spin the wheel to clean that rotor off. Once you do that, we're going to unload the suspension, and then we're going to come in and talk about a few of the electronics on it that are going to be really good to know what's going on with it and how to get more speed out of it.
So in here we do have the breaker. When you are removing the battery or anytime you're unplugging these wires here, you do want to make sure you have it in the off position. Once the wires are attached and hooked up, you can go ahead and flip that on. If you're having trouble, you're turning the key on, nothing's turning on for you, that would be the first thing to check. Make sure that your wires are plugged into the battery and the breaker switch is on. One other thing to note with this new 20.5 model, a lot of the older ones, you had to take this green wire out and cut it to enable the full power sport mode to get the full power out of it and get up to the 45 miles per hour. This did come pre-cut from the factory, ready to go.
So coming in and checking out the stickers, the mil thickness on these stickers is absolutely insane and crazy. They are a very quality, great looking sticker with good color. Just trying to get in close so you can see that.
The sticker instruction that they show, if you actually look at it, these are not the same stickers that came with this kit. It might be for an older model, but as you can see, these stickers are different than what these show on here.
So we're going to come back and we're going to check everything for tightness. One really good thing to do is check spokes for the correct tightness. Make sure you don't have any loose ones. You're going to want to do that before you take this thing for a ride, throwing a leg over it. You don't want to have any problems with any of the spokes. Coming back, checking to make sure that the cap and the axle is tight. And we're going to also check the pinch bolts for the axle, making sure that they are tight at the correct tightness. So basically we're going to check the tightness of everything that we had to assemble out of the box. We started with the spokes. That was not something we had to assemble, but that is something very smart to do. Then we moved on to the axle, the fender. We'll move on to the handlebars, levers, throttle, and everything else, as I mentioned, that we had to put together. Adjusting the angle of your levers.
We want to adjust it so that our arms are straight when we're in the riding position.
You want to make sure that the throttle is pushed all the way onto the handlebars as far as it'll go, and that the wire is coming out down below. Another great thing to do is to check the tightness of the rear axle. You're going to need a 17mm socket and ratchet. And that's going to be something else that you're going to need to know if you need to adjust the chain, because you do have the adjustment bolt. You're going to have that adjustment bolt on both sides for the chain. Then on the other side, you're going to need a 6mm Allen. And then if you need to adjust the adjuster bolt, that is a 10mm. You're going to want a wrench for that to try to get into this tight area. A socket is not going to work. So basically we are done assembling the bike. One really cool thing is you can see here, it is at 99%. So it's almost at a full charge. We're going to go ahead and put it in the bike, get the decal kit put on it. So one very important part before hooking the battery up, you do want to make sure you have the breaker on the off position before hooking and unhooking the battery. It is off, so we will be hooking it up now.
And you should be able to only hook it up one way. By the fittings are male and female to plug in. Let's see here, this one goes like this. There we go. Both on there. Then we can flip the breaker. Do you want to get some of that on there?
Now the breaker is in the on position. Now that the battery is plugged in, it did illuminate the little screen on the battery. So you can see the battery illuminated with the light. There's a USB charger. There's a cover over it. Very, very cool. Once you turn the key on, headlight does come on. Very, very bright headlight. And then up on the handlebars, you're going to have a readout. This is your mile an hour. This is in kilometers. We can change that to mile an hour, and we will show you how to do that as well.
All right, so we're going to go ahead and switch over the speedometer to miles per hour from kilometers per hour, which it was shipped on. You're going to go ahead and turn the bike off. You're going to hold down the red button, turn the bike on while holding on to it for a little while, and it will switch over to miles per hour.
So now we will be installing the graphics on the side of the bike. Once we get them all installed, I will show, and you can pause the video. I'll do a long showing of it so you can see if you are doing decals yourself, how they go, or the position that we're doing them. Right now we're just cleaning off the surfaces with a rag to make sure we don't have any residue or dirt left behind, so they have a good bonding surface.
Shaka on the beats, 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 Shaka on the beats.
So there is the graphics installed. Looks really, really good. The graphics are great quality. They line up really well. They apply very easily without any air bubbles or wrinkles because of how thick they are. As you can see, one thing to note on this one here, you have these notches. That is going to contour around this frame right here. So it allows that sticker to bend without getting a crease in it. But it has turned out really good. Looks absolutely awesome. That is the assembly of the Ciron X 2020.5 Black Edition. We'll take it for a quick test ride, a spin, see what it's like, and we will have more videos on it if that is something that you guys want to see. So definitely drop that in the comments below if you want to see more videos on this. We'd love to make some more, some upgrades, some modifications, anything, tips or tricks that we find out with it along the way. So definitely stay tuned and drop a comment down below. Smash that thumbs up if you like this video. But let's take this thing out for a nice little quick test ride.
So in EP mode, it limits it at 30 miles per hour. In sport mode, I just got up to 49 right there, and probably could have got a mile or two more with longer distance.
So in sport, it went to 49.
Yeah.
So there you guys go. There is a quick test ride on it. Like I said, definitely drop a comment down below if you want to see more to come with it. We'd love to make some more videos with it. This thing is super, super cool. Absolutely awesome looking. Nice cross between, reminds me of like a downhill mountain bike and a dirt bike, but very, very cool. So hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. And like I said, remember to smash that thumbs up, subscribe to the channel if you haven't, ring the bell, turn on all post notifications, and I'll catch you all in the next one. And until then, take care.
Shaka on the beats, 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 Shaka on the beats.